quotes function as they do normally for other languages. A quote happens, then highlighted text, then another quote. In 0123 the quote mark is the triangle pictograph or 82, so the borrowed word dog in quotes would be the borrowed word pictograph space 82 dog 82. Another special sentence, the redefined dreamcatcher pictograph or 30 is placed in between two sets of quotes, then the end word and end of the sentence. The sentence means that whatever's in the front quotes for the reading direction will be replaced by whatever's in the back quotes in the reading direction. This example means the meaning that is cat can now be expressed as 0770. In other words, the word for cat is 0770. That happens to be the Canon word for cat. So now, you as speaker can officially make up words. That way, if there is a word not in the Canon but one that you know in another language, you can create a word for 0123 and convey that concept. Remember the guidelines talked about in previous videos of Canon and non-Canon words. Review the Canon words vowel consonant word creation guidelines. You are not locked into these or any patterns in 0123. It is only for use with strangers. Having a Canon pattern lowers confusion. The Dreamcatcher pictograph can also be useful in shrinking down those large words, full sentences, or even many sentences down to a few letters. This really hurts word searches. Here we have a cat that is kind of good and very big is now just 7007. Let's not clutter up the vocabulary. Let's delete 7007. We do that by redefining it as nothing. Canon words cannot be deleted. Canon words switch places when being replaced, so they are never lost. In the example, the symbol for end reading direction switched places with the start reading direction. That way the end reading direction is not lost. The last sentence example is really useful because if you have a text block, you can force the reader to use context to tell the reading direction. If context is not known, an eavesdropper would not even know what direction to start the word searching from. The Dreamcatcher pictograph with the infinity is used for redefining not the meaning, but the word, spelling, and letters instead. With one sentence, every future sentence, all places that one would use the letter 9 will be replaced or switched with both letters. 36. Remember when during the alphabet I said let's skip the letter a meaning? Well, it has no meaning, so it can be fully swapped for another letter using this. In this example, the Canon letterer switches places with the Canon letter 5, so words like verb that is spelled 25 are spelled 2a, and words like the addition pictograph that is spelled 1a are now spelled 15. Also, all meaning of 5, that being the word to as in do you want 1 2, switched places with the void meaning of a, so now 5 is void of meaning and a means 2 as in do you want 1 2. Okay, now that you have got that down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, in small text we completely undo all of that and everything goes back to normal. I do not know Swahili, but we can use the Dreamcatcher pictograph in reverse to obfuscate a 0123 word as a Swahili word. Now all of 0123 language can hide inside another language. In eavesdropper, they would first have to know the speaker is not speaking Swahili, then start making correlations to the ever-changing 0123. The example is Swahili word for wagon gari can now be used for the 0123 word for dog. This slide's example is the entire 0123 language obfuscated in the word hello of 16 different languages. The winding road pictograph or 50 means replace the letters. The letters in the first quotes are the number of letters to go back. The letters in the second quotes are the letters that will be replaced forward. So this is instructions to go back 1000 letters and replace whatever letters are there with 71. Remember how we were not able to make the 71 tone level? Now we can solve that in other conflicts. This also allows the speaker to put random numbers into a message that will be replaced with the correct ones in a future message. This means a part of the message gets hidden in a future message, making some messages not able to be cracked at this time. This is also really fantastic for those Friday the 13th style messages not to open until a date. This keeps plans hidden until the last minute. Letters are counted back from the first parenthesis. This is to make things easy. If the letters to be replaced is more or less than the letters replacing the monsieur, the number of letters to be replaced counting forward is placed after the road pictograph, then followed by the infinity pictograph. So this would be from the first parenthesis go back 1000 letters, then erase the next 4 letters forward, replacing them with 71. In this example, let's say we have orders to only run the program this Saturday. We get the first sentence today on Monday. If we disobeyed orders and ran the first sentence, that is a program on Monday, the sentence program first runs word 0, then skips over word 1 because its programming tone marker is on the antonym side. Then it runs word 2, so it runs word 0 and then word 2. But we follow orders and do not run the program till Saturday. On Friday we receive the second sentence, the one with the road pictograph in it. It says to go back 40 spaces and change 3 letters. This is word 1 programming non-root word. It will be replaced with a programming word that has the antonym side on the top and the word side on the bottom. Everything else stays the same. So on Saturday we follow orders and run the program monsieur. It runs word 0, then it runs word 1, then it skips word 2 because now the antonym side has changed where the join word is. So it runs word 0 and word 1. Perhaps the program of word 2 is a function that whatever computer runs it, or perhaps it was intended to be intercepted and word 2 is a backdoor when someone tests it out by running it. Perhaps word 1 is a surprise sabotage, such as something that prevents a dam spillway from opening, breaking the dam when those Saturday rains come from our weather control machine. The English flag pictograph, or 60, can be used to make changes to the grammar to have a fully mutatable language. It is used like this. The English flag pictograph is followed by quotes. In this case I put 3 quotes because what is written will contain quotes, and I copied Python's method for this, where within 3 quotes normal quotes do not end the 3 quotes. The first thing we see is the verb marker, but it has no tone marker, and the speaker has made easy for us by adding parentheses. The verb marker is meant to be the root word. We see the verb marker is the subject. With the 192 and the infinity, it is very much the subject. Giving such importance to the subject means the speaker really wants us to know is talking about verbs. We see the plural marker with the high infinity. All verbs are what is being talked about, also the whole word. So all verbs is the subject. Then we are to borrow from the language of math and look inside for multiplication from math. That is the verb multiply. Then we have 2, that is less the object of this sentence. 2 could be meant as the word white space, but the hexadecimal markup would make its use as a number implied. This sentence has ended. So this sentence says all verbs, the whole word, are to be multiplied by 2. The next sub-sentence says to remove the verb marker. Normally we cannot remove a Canon word, and in truth, it is still not removed, but the speaker put this in for a reason, and that is to instruct us not to use the verb markers, but instead mark verbs by multiplying their hexadecimal letters by 2. The 3 quotes are ended and a change grammar word in sentence is ended. This example shows how the grammar itself can change, even making the way verbs are handled different. But for future slides, let's just go back to handling the verbs in the normal way, so teaching is easier. The door pictograph, or 52, is for giving out your public key, because 0, 1, 2, 3 is hexadecimal. A stream of hexadecimal might look like letters and words and create problems. This is just way of ignoring any random words created by any hexadecimal you might want to write. The 04 spelling note pictograph is so one never has to leave the hexadecimal alphabet to spell out foreign words. Every sound in the IPA has a 0, 1, 2, 3 Canon word. The 04 is used as a root word, then the phonetic letters of the foreign word in the form of non-root words, then end the word. This is bonjour in pure 0, 1, 2, 3. Notice the note pictograph root word, then each one of those non-root words with a tone marker is a letter of the IPA alphabet, then the end word pictograph. With this you can stay in 0, 1, 2, 3. I will provide a link to the full vocabulary spreadsheet. Sometimes, it is just easier to have a line in order. 6 in quotes allows you to treat the whole quoted line in order as a root word. This is useful for things like LaTeX formula markup. This word is the subject of the sentence and is the quadratic formula. Sometimes it is hard to guess numbers or numbers by context. 05 can be used to ensure letters are read as numbers. This is the number B01401018 not self. Chemicals. I wanted to do a Lewis structure, ball and stick, or space filling that conveyed the orbital interactions, but this is not a job for one man. As for using a modified condensed formula, that's the CH3CH2OH to be ethanol. I have always disliked the condensed formula because of the information loss in isomers. The condensed formula has THC and progesterone being the same chemicals or something you really don't want to mix up, so until a better system is made. 0123 is stuck with calling on a database that the chemical is simply a unique identifier. I know that this gives no meaning to the chemical ID, and any database is not always going to be reachable. The chemicals are said with 251, then followed with quotes, then the Canon PubChem ID for the chemical, then end quotes, then any non-root word modifiers, then the end word. The Canon database is PubChem, but you can use any database you want. You could even make your own database that hides itself as a dating website, something with profiles that you can look up that hide and show the chemical in some way, like every third letter of a profile spelling out ethanol or something.